How to trim a pom-pom using the Loome Pom Pom trim guide. What you'll need are your Loome Pom Pom trim guide, scissors, your pom-pom bundle, and a bowl. Let's get started. Okay, so what we'll do for the first step is set your pom-pom trim guide aside as we cut the pom-pom bundle, the loops, making sure you get all the loops here. Okay, once you have all the loops cut, what you'll do is you'll take your pom-pom trim guide and set it center to center. So here, and holding it kind of pretty firmly down, and what you'll do is you'll begin to cut your pom-pom and trace around this circle. So this pom-pom trim guide is 1 3/4 inches. So if you are making a smaller pom-pom, do the same thing, but if you're making a larger pom-pom, just as you cut, just leave some space here. So let's say you're trimming a 2-inch pom-pom, so I would just trim out a little bit. What the pom-pom trim guide does is that it really speeds up the pom-pom hair cutting process. It really helps you get to the end product, which is a round pom-pom like we saw earlier here. Okay, so once you have that trimmed on one side, so I'll do a quick cleaning up here real fast. Like this, what you'll do is you'll take your one-sided trimmed pom-pom and fuzz it out a little bit and just turn it over one. And because it's a 3-dimensional shape, it'll need to be cut on this side as well. So the pom-pom trim guide is fantastic for beginner pom-pom makers. It's great for kids as well. It won't get you to the perfect orb pom-pom, but it definitely speeds up everything, and it's just a great tool to have. It actually also doubles as a Kumi Himo cord making disc, so you could actually look at our other video as well. Okay, so now that I have both sides trimmed, what you'll do is set your pom-pom trim guide aside, and what you'll do now is you'll have somewhat of a round pom-pom. It's still a little bit shaggy, so we're now going to clean it up. So now if you're looking for more of a shaggy pom-pom like this, the pom-pom trim guide is fantastic because now you kind of have a finished product, and for kids this is actually great as well. Okay, so now we're going to take the same approach as we do for trimming any orb pom-pom. Is you're going to take one area and you're going to trim it down to the density that you like. Once you have that density, you're going to actually take it all the way around, just one side. Don't start turning your pom-pom around. You're just going to trim on one side only, like I'm doing here. So once you go one around, you might go altogether probably 2 or 3 times around just to clean it up, make sure it's all even. I usually go, I notice, 2 or 3 times for sure. You might go 4 if you need to. Okay, so now what you'll do is you'll have a really cleaned up pom-pom on one side here, and you can see the 2 kind of shaggy ends. So now what you're going to do is you're going to use the same method, which is to trim it down to the same density, but just on one area. Don't start moving the pom-pom around a lot. If you do, it actually will be harder for you to get to a orb shape, or kind of a good round shape for your pom-pom, because you actually lose perspective of kind of the roundness. So then now I have my other side pretty cleaned up. Now I like to do, in between trims, what I like to do is just kind of fuzz up a little bit to, you know, kind of get out any ends that are hiding, like this one right here, and now I'm gonna clean it up. So just like a real haircut, what happens here now is that you're just gonna spend the next 2 or 3 minutes just kind of trimming and getting it to where you like to. At this point, you can start turning your pom-pom around a lot if you like. Okay, we're all done. So this is how you use the Loome Pom Pom trim guide. Enjoy!